I welcome you for this React Prerequisites for Beginners Part 1 training course. React project folder structure. In this lecture, we will talk about the folders and files generated by the create-react-app utility during the creation of React project or application. Node_modules folder. This folder contains all the React dependencies or packages, React, React-DOM, and the transitive dependencies like Webpack, Babel, RxJS, ESLint, etc. to build and run a React project. .gitignore file. This file is used by source code version control tool to identify which files and folders should be included or ignored during the source code commit. Package-log.json file. It is automatically generated for any operations where npm modifies either the node_modules tree or package.json file. Package.json file. It holds important information about the project. It contains human readable metadata about the project as well as functional metadata like the package version number and a list of dependencies required by the application. It is the core to the Node.js ecosystem and is a fundamental part of understanding and working with Node.js, NPM, and even modern JavaScript. README.md file. It is often the first item a visitor will see when visiting your source code repository. README files typically includes the following information: what the project does, why the project is useful, how users can get started with the project, where users can get help with your project, and who maintains and contributes to the project. Public folder. All the files in the public folder can be referenced from the index.html file by %public_URL %syntax. Favicon file. It is an icon that is used in your application as its logo. They are often found, for example, on browser tabs or as a logo on your desktop or smart home screen. The favicon used by create-react-app is in .ico format, which is recommended. But in all modern browser, .jpg, .png, and .gif formats are accepted. The .ico format is recommended because one file can contain various dimensions that can be used in different occasions. For example, on my Chrome tabs, the default favicon size is 16x16. But as desktop icons, we will need something bigger for sure. It is good to include 32x32 and 48x48 size as well. The favicon is referenced in the index.html file as shown below. On the screen, you are able to see the favicon on the browser tab along with the title name, React App. Index.html file. This file is the entry point of the application. The index.html file in the public folder is used as the template file of the application. It links to our fab-icon.ico and manifest.json files. Here we could also change the default app name React app in its title tag to something more useful. All the dynamic content of the app will be injected in the root dev as shown below. All React code is rendered inside the dev element id root from the index.js file. Manifest.json file. It is the file that describes the application. The details in this file will be used in app-like conditions like when you install the React app on your desktop or smartphone. The minimum requirements for the manifest.json file is short_name or name property. The name property is used on the installation prompt and the short_name wherever the space may be limited. For example, on smartphone home screen. Icons property is where you can define the different icons for your application. In case of .ico file, you may define more than one size without stretching the image. Start_URL is defined as an entry point for your application. The application will start from here when launched. Display defines in which display mode the application is launched. Standalone means that app open in its own window as if it were a native application, independent from the browser. Browser would launch the app just like in a standard browser. Background_color is used as a background color of the splash screen when the app is first launched. Theme_color defines the color for the toolbar. Robots.txt file. It defines rules for spiders, crawlers, and scrappers for accessing your application. Logo 192.png and logo 512.png files. These are React logo, which is of dimension 192 into 192 pixel and 512 into 512 pixel and is used in the template file index.html by default. SRC folder. It contains components, containers, context, higher order components, store, hooks, test, assets, utils, data, services, and some more. App.css file. It contains styles of our React component app.js file. App.js file. This file has very basic React component defined which can be replaced by our own root component. App.test.js file. A very basic test is defined in this file which can be replaced by our own test. Index.css file. It contains styles for general setup of our application. Index.js file. This file renders our component and registers service workers. Logo.svg file. SVG file of React logo being used in the component app.js by default. Service_worker.js file. Service worker for pre-caching the script files of our React app, thereby improving the performance. Setup_test.js file. As the name suggests, this file sets up tests and runs them. Register service worker.js file. As its name applies, it is important for registering a service which is generated automatically and creates progressive web apps which are necessary for mobile React Native apps. The next agenda is installation requirements for React Session 5. I thank you for participating in this lecture. We'll see you in the next lecture.